Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we are making this dress. We are drafting, we are making that our starting point. We mark our bust line, under bust and waistline on both sides. Then we make those lines like that. And then we are going to make our neckline. I made my neckline 6 by 3 inches. Yes, we drafted direct on our fabric. We make our shoulder measurement. My shoulder was 7.5. Then we are going to go up on the bust line by 2 inches and make our chest line. We come down on our shoulder line by 1 inch and make a shoulder slope there. Then we go in the midpoint and mark. So we are going to make our nipple to nipple measurement. Mine was 3.5 and mark it. Then we are going to go down on our bust line by 1 inch and make a dart of 2 inches, 0.5 on one side and 1.5 on one side, and we make that dot there. So we are going to come and make on that point we made and go in by ½ inches and mark our bust measurement on our chest line and make that armhole there. Yes, we are going to make our under bust measurement. You replace the dart and add 1 inch for sewing allowance on both sides, on all the lines. Yeah, so we are going to make that long up to the where our dress stops. Yeah, so after that I had made lines before, but I'm not considering them. I'm just going to measure and add my dart on the hip line. Yeah, so we are eliminating the first line and making a second line. On our hip line, I said you measure your hip and add that dart, which is 2 inches, and put some sewing allowance, then you cut. We already put the sewing allowance in that measurement, so you don't put sewing allowance on the edges again. And when we are cutting in the dart, we don't cut it where it passes completely. We leave some space for joining. You don't cut it from where it stops completely. You leave that some slight fabric for sewing allowance, like 0.5 something. Yeah, so we are done with our cutting the front parts. So then we are going to draft our back part. When we are making our back part, you make the vertical measurements, you make the bust line, the under bust, the waistline, and the hip line. You make the neckline of 1.5 inches by 3 inches. So you've marked all your lines you need, and when we are making the back that we are using 1 inch, not 2 inches like we used in the front. So you shall confirm our measurements. I told you the first line is the bust line, then the under bust, the waistline, and the hip line. Then we are going to also mark our nipple to nipple measurement, but before we shall come on the bust line by 2 inches and mark our chest line. Then we are going to go down on the shoulder and mark our shoulder slope. We go down by 1 inch and make our shoulder slope, and that is it. Then we are going to make our armhole. We already marked 2 inches above the bust line. We just draw it there. Then we are going to measure the midpoint of that line, which is 3.5 in my case, and we are going to make our bust measurement on the chest line and add 1 inch sewing allowance. Then after that we are going to make our armhole like that. I used my free hand for this. So after that we are going to mark our nipple to nipple measurement like that on both lines, on all the 3 lines. In fact, there are 4 lines, on all the 4 lines. Yeah, so that's our nipple to nipple measurement, and we elongate up to the hip line. So we come on the hip line 2 inches above the hip line, and we are going to go on the waistline and make a dart of 1 inch, 0.5 on each side. So we are going to connect that dart from the hip to the bust line. For this case in the back, we don't go down on the bust line. We just come straight from the bust line and measure. So you start your dart from the bust line, then we mark our hip measurement, and that's it. We've already added the sewing allowance. So if you're making your dress and you're cutting it through, you do like that. You slant in a bit from the middle to remove the zipper bulge. Yeah, but for my case, I'm not cutting this dress into sections, so I'll leave it as it is, but I'll just slant it in the middle a bit. So we are going to cut our panels, which we are going to insert in our skirt. First, we have to measure the length of the panel we need. So after measuring it, I measured 24. In my case, you measure yours also. You come down and measure where 24 stops and come across like that. Then you cut like that. So that which we cut, we are going to still divide it by 2 and get each panel for each part. So we do the same for others because we need like 8 panels to insert in our skirt. 2 at the sides, 2 in the front, and 2 in the back. Are they 8? They are 6. Yeah, we need 6 panels, 2 in the front, 2 in the sides, and 2 in the back. So we measure like that the 25 inches we needed, then 24 inches, it was 24 inches, then we slant in like that, we cut them out, and that's what we are going to use. And in case, my dear, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe. Yes, and if you have not hit the notification bell, hit that notification bell so that when we put up a new video, you're notified of the video. So whoever subscribed, I'm very grateful. I love you so much. Thank you for always coming and watching these videos. Thank you for subscribing. Yeah, I love you so much, and you're blessed. Yeah, so we need 6 of these panels, so you must have 6 of them, and they must be equal. If you want something good, something uniform, you must make them equal. So we are done with our 6 pieces. So we are going to start inserting our panels, but for the front pattern, you have to make sure you sew to the waist before you insert any panel. And another thing is that I sewed a little bit from the shoulder to the waist. Yeah, I stole some inches, small inches from the shoulder line and coming down to meet that dart and stopped at the waist dart. I did not exceed the waist dart. I started inserting my panels at the waist dart. So you have to take care of that. You have to see that you insert your panels in the right place, so know where the waist is. So we inserted our panels like that, and when you're inserting the panels, I would encourage you to start from down to up. Don't put the panels and start from up to down. No, come from down to up, because that's when your panels will fit perfectly with your dress. So you can start from up coming down. It will be good that way. Yeah, that's what I also did. So thank you for always watching these videos. Thank you for subscribing. And those who haven't subscribed, my dears, please do subscribe. Yes, like, comment, share, tell a friend. Yeah. So we are almost done. Yeah. We are almost done with our dress. And yeah, so after finishing, you close the seams. You finish the front part and the back part, you close the seams from the side. And remember, in the side there are panels also. There are 6 panels, 2 in the front, 2 in the back, 2 other sides. And that's how our dress came out. Da-da! That's how our dress came out. Thank you for watching. Until next time.